The school year was 1994, 1995. I was a senior in high school. Me and my friends in Memphis, Tennessee were huge wrestling fans. We were at the Mid-South Coliseum in the very end days of Memphis wrestling when they would go to the Mid-South Coliseum on Monday nights. We were there almost every week. We went to a very small high school in Memphis, Tennessee, where most of my friends and I played football, baseball, or soccer. But in the winter months, we would participate in the school's musical theater production. Our senior year, the production was going to be Little Shop of Horrors. The only caveat was if we wanted to get the plant costume, which if you've ever seen the play, it's a huge costume, we would have to pay a certain amount of money to a local theater company to buy it. Our idea to raise money was to put on a wrestling show for our entire high school. So myself and 5 friends practiced for months and got a ring from local legend Phil Hickerson. He rented it to us, and we finally put on this production in front of our entire high school. We had managers, a referee, a ring announcer. We had a run-in by Dad, who was a photographer, who ended up helping the heel team to steal the victory from the babyfaces. So we raised enough money putting on this wrestling production for us to buy the plant costume and put on the production of Little Shop of Horrors. This was Derek King, local Memphis wrestler for 25 years. It was Derek King's first ever wrestling match in front of a crowd there with us putting on this show for our school.
Okay, I do have a lot of questions, but right off the top, it makes so much sense to me that you are part of the theater team and you understood to put little storylines together and how to make these little scenes within a wrestling show in terms of the heel manager and the coach and the assistant and the principal and all of this stuff. I love that that's where your head was, and you made essentially a play with wrestling as the acting or the heart of it, and you made this play in order for you to be able to put on the play, which is great. The questions come in when you say you were practicing, and I assumed it was just all your high school friends, but then local legend Derek King, one of Jerry Lawler's favorite wrestler ever, he all of a sudden is part of this show. I thought it was all your high school friends. Or did he go to that high school and then eventually go on to train to wrestle? Because it seems like you weren't necessarily really training to be wrestlers. You were just wrestling fans and you figured that the basic idea out of it, although, don't try this at home, blah, blah, blah. So I'm so confused if it was just like kids at the high school and then sprinkled in with local wrestlers, although you would look so bad at that point. But maybe that's the point. I don't know. Either way, I love that you were part of that era. You would go to those shows. It's a very historic time in professional wrestling. They were selling out the Memphis Coliseum and also in Memphis, like doing small, tiny house shows and willing to rent a ring to kids at a high school. They didn't care as long as money came in. That's like Memphis's catchphrase, as long as some money is coming in. You did that for others, and then others did that for you as you raised enough. And Seymour was able to be fed. Was that the right reference? Feed me, Seymour? Oh, Seymour did the feeding. Beautiful. Got there. Hey, thanks for watching. That call was part of a whole podcast called Wrestling Anonymous. Listen to the whole thing weekly. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go subscribe. And while you're at it, subscribe right here on YouTube to Colt Cabana's channel. Thank you.